Hello everyone and welcome back. I am Count Christo and this is the Roman Reclamation campaign. So, I have done some research into what I was saying about the Latin Empire and I am wrong, but in not as wrong as you might think. So, in like 1200-ish, this whole area is pretty solidly controlled by the Byzantine Empire. And then the Crusade takes place and there's the Latin Empire gets established with the support of Venice. But the Latin Empire actually takes much more than I thought. They took basically everything. Like their center was Constantinople and all that stuff, and this whole area then almost immediately fragments and the Latin Empire falls apart. And these states that you see, Morea, Achaea, Athens, then start existing outside of the Byzantine Empire as well. The Byzantine Empire doesn't really exist for a while the Latin Empire is here. Then the Byzantine Empire gets re-established in kind of this area at the same time as this area kind of breaking off from the Latin Empire, and Serbia, which was not from the Latin Empire, I was wrong about that part, cutting down here and taking a lot of this area for themselves. So the states here aren't kind of direct successors to the Latin Empire, but they're like some of the names and the areas and things were established by the Latin Empire. And this area down, like the borders of this area down here, with Venice controlling some and Athens controlling this area, were heavily influenced by the Latin Empire's legacy, I guess. So there you go. Cleared that up slightly. I'm sure I'm still butchering. You know, less badly rather. Hopefully. So, got to finish Metropolitan. Oh, I think that was also the point, by the way, where this province was controlled by Venice. Well, I say this province, this area was controlled by Venice. IRL things aren't always divided up into nice, neat provinces, although they surprisingly often are, in terms of, having claims to certain counties and that kind of thing. This was controlled by the Venetians for quite a while, although it was then retaken by, I think it was Nicomacheia, which I guess was kind of centered in this area, that ended up reclaiming lots of this land from the Latin Empire and re-establishing the Byzantine, the Eastern Roman Empire. Royal marriage with Athens would give us 25 Diplo points. But I'd rather kill them, though, is the thing. I think we're good. Convert the people of Asia Minor. All provinces in northern Anatolia, which are owned by us, must be Orthodox. And the same for southern Anatolia. So, basically, convert these two provinces. No, we can't do that. It's too tough, I'm afraid. Does it give us a wave of missionary strength when we take that? No. Ooh, hey, we have a bonus from our silk production right now. Nice. Very nice. Producing some linen over here, some cloth here, linen here, cloth here. We'll have to decide whether which trade good we want to gear our economy towards, because you tend to want to focus on one, maybe two later on. If we get really like high production values, we might out to two different types, but one early on ideally, because you get bonuses from having a certain amount of silk per population. It starts at 2.5, then rank 2 bonuses at 5, rank 3 bonuses at 10, maybe 15, and it goes all the way up to have it when you can have like, I think the highest is 25. Let's take a quick look at some of those bonuses and decide how we're going to structure our economy. Obviously, early on, we may just want to stick with whatever we have, because it costs you production skill to change from one type of good to another. But the counter argument is no, you should focus on what you want straight away and go towards the bonus for as early as possible, so you get higher and higher production skill going forwards. Let me just quickly check trade goods. I think what we're probably going to want to go for, I'm torn. So here are the bonuses. We can make carpet, but we can basically forget about that, because you can only make carpet if you're in basically this region, I think, is the only area that makes carpets. Or maybe across North Africa as well. Here, let me check the exact region where you can make carpets. You have to be in the Middle East and North Africa province group, the MENA area. Okay. And China, where likewise you have to be in East East Asia. So our options are glassware, jewelry, leather, luxury cloth, luxury cloth, naval supplies, paper, silk, and steel. Now, glassware gives flat across the board tech cost reductions. That's pretty good. But you can only get glassware by event. Oh, okay. Never mind then. I'm pretty sure you get glassware. Like the only place that ends up producing glassware is Constantinople if the Turks take it over. But yeah, that can be pretty good. You can get, if you have 25 trade goods per 100 population, then you can get 10% tech cost reduction across the board. It's crazy good. Jewelry gives national tax modifier and increased legitimacy and less inflation at high levels. That's pretty good. Leather gives production efficiency and regiment costs down. Luxury cloth gives diplotech, trade power, and diplomatic relations. It's pretty good. Naval supply gives force limit, just naval force limit. I don't think that's worth it. We're going to get lots of naval force limit from how much coastal land we're going to take. Paper gives an idea cost reduction and an advisor cost reduction. Pretty good. You do take a lot of ideas in this mod. Silk gives admin tech reduction and trade power up from provinces. Steel gives military tech cost and infantry combatability. I kind of want to go for something which is not tech or idea cost related, because I'm very confident we will at some point take culture ideas, and we will also at some point probably take representation ideas, which is one you can take if you get... When you're allowed to get reputation, you have to have innovative. And how do you get innovative? I think you can only take innovative if you're at Tech 20, but innovative, culture, and representation. It calls it democracy here. I think it calls itself representation on this screen. The three of those put together give you great bonuses. I think cannot speak today. Innovativeness and democracy both give you less piety, unfortunately, but we can counterbalance that with a bunch of religious ideas. And that will give us so much tech cost and idea cost that I suspect monarch points will start to be less and less of an issue. And the main limiting factor will be wealth. Now, of course, that also makes an argument for, well, maybe we just shouldn't take culture ideas and innovative, I don't know why that particular word, innovative ideas and representation ideas, because that's, it over fixes the problem of monarch points. But I think we will want to do that. And so in that case, we want to take a production bonus, which maybe doesn't help with a specific tech cost, but helps with something else. For example, I'm eyeing up leather, because leather gives you production efficiency, and we get that stacking, that you can see how that becomes a virtuous cycle, right? You get production efficiency from producing a certain amount of goods, and then your production efficiency helps you produce even more goods. So I think we're going to try and do a hard shift to leather production. Yeah. Because you get, a lot of wealth comes from tax, but I think into mid and late game, most of your income will come from trade and production. And trade and production are also that kind of virtuous cycle where when you have a very high production efficiency, you produce lots of trade value. So if we look here in Constantinople, we're producing silk, right? And the trade value of this province gets increased substantially by urban production revenue, you can see. Unfortunately, the way MEIOU&Taxes does... and I'm not saying they should do it better, because, as I've said before, I'm no modder, I don't know how you do this crap. But they're getting urban production revenue. There's 4 of them in there. It's like 1.5, it looks like, we're getting. Of course, we also get value from the local goods produced, which is also affected by production efficiency. I think maybe rural goods produced is not affected by this, but yeah. Cool. I think we're going to go leather. Yeah. So the question is, do we make a hard shift now, which will require us going into each of these provinces, going administer urban production, will change the urban good. Now, to produce leather, you have to upgrade it from linen. Now, linen is the one that upgrades into cloth. No, it isn't. Upgrades into silk. It's not, actually. So we would have to downgrade all these ones which produce cloth, and we also have to downgrade the silk twice. Now, the problem with downgrading, as I mentioned, is every time you do it, you lose 30 production skill. We only gave 5 a year. That is 60 years of production skill that we are deleting. I think we should do it anyway. It's going to be more than that because we're going to have to do it again. But I'm going to do a hard shift right now to leather. This will hurt us in the short term, but I think we can take it. Oh, we only lose 15 this time. Good. So we're losing a total of 90 years production skill, which does definitely hurt. But when this has a choice to upgrade, we will upgrade it into, let's definitely get this right, linen. We will upgrade to linen. And over here, Florence data, no. Why can't I... you can only interact with it if it has a certain degree of production skill. I think it's 25. Yeah, you can only do it if it has at least 25. So we're going to change this one, which will go back down to urban. Anywhere else we want to change it? I don't think so. So Perusa doesn't have enough production skill yet. I think you can still see the production skill in the economic data. Revenue production 2.8. I don't see... There it is. They do have 25. Huh. That's strange. Anyway, so that will our economy is going to take a hit in the pretty long term from making this decision. But I think it's still a good one. We already had some linen here and here. Poor vintage has expired. Good. Some more linen down here. That's ideal. And basically, whenever we take over a new production center, we're going to go in, we're going to tear down all their warehouses and say, no, do it again. Make leather. The emperor demands leather. And that way, we should be able to get... If we can get up to abundant leather production, we get 10% cheaper troops. That's both training and maintenance. And we get 25% bonus production efficiency. It's very good. I did silk in my last campaign, which makes me inherently biased against wanting to do silk in this one. But, yeah. The other problem with making this hard shift is that these centers of production are the things that grant urban production skill over time to the nearby area, to the province they're in and to the nearby area. And I think because we've got so much less skill in production now, we're going to have a lot less of these centers of production. So it's a big deal, that choice, but I think it's still a good one. Now, lost effects of manpower low. Good. I do want to get rid of this this peasants' war. I think I was wrong, actually. We should be trying to increase our centralization even more. Let's do it. I'm going to be even more a bit behind on this, but we're about to increase our max by 10. So if we get up to 60 centralization this early, it's really powerful. What kind of government do we have? We are currently a despotic monarchy. Nice. That's what I usually want to go for. It's a good early game government form. The stability increase interval it gives is negative, but the rest of it is pretty good. 100 chapter synod. Gain a bunch of church influence. I don't want to do that. Convert heretics peacefully. It really never seems to work, this, and you can only do it on a per province basis, so it's not a good solution to a large empire. So this is the event I was talking about. They have above 25 production skill, fortunately, and that means we can choose, and we will go with linen. Nice. So there we go. They're producing linen, and I don't know if there's diminishing returns on production. Maybe its production skill grow. Yeah, see, it seems to be growing faster because it is lower, so it's less bad than I thought. That's good. We can also attract qualified artisans to double the growth of production skill for 10 years. You know what? Yeah, 20 ducats. Oh, I'll spend that. Let's get get things back in shape. The emperor is we're shaking things up. We're changing things around. I could also I'm going to give the burghers this decade of self-rule. I tend to give them this a lot. This will hurt us. You'll note that the autonomy in these burgher provinces has just spiked quite substantially. But that money is not lost. It's going, the money that we're not getting from the income. Venice requests trading privileges. Now, this is a just big decision, so let's deal with that when I finish talking about this. The money is not lost. It goes to the burghers, and then the burghers reinvest it. So, okay. The merchants of Venice request you grant them exclusive trading privileges in the city of Constantinople. Venice, first off, let's begin negotiations. I'm not a big fan of you, just so you know, Venice. You took this land from us. You destabilized our empire with your assistance in the establishment of the Latin Empire. You caused all kinds of fragmentation that almost resulted in a huge Ottoman conquest of this area. So, you better come to me with a good offer. If you agree, we will give some of our trade power over to them. In exchange, they will give us a one-time payment of 100 ducats. They will have less control of the trade in Constantinople. This agreement will increase the value of our trade considerably. It also increases our end-of-year diplomatic power by 6, so we get 0.5 dip per month. Going to war with Venice will end the trade privileges. Now, generally, I seem to think this is worth it. Sometimes. So we currently have 90 trade power here. That's not... We'd give them 1/3 of our trade power. This is a... How long is this agreement? 10 years. All right, get the calculator back up. So we're giving them 1/3 of our trade power. Let's forget about the trade efficiency for a moment. That's just gravy, right? We're giving them 1/3 of our trade power. Let's say that means we lose 1/3 of our income. That's about 1 ducat per month. So that's 12 ducats a year. So that's 100. I don't need the calculator. This is easy maths. 1 times 12, 12. 12 times 10, 120. So we're losing 120 ducats over the whole period. And they're prepared to give us 100 ducats to do this. I mean, that's not great. But we do get the money now rather than over the next 10 years. Furthermore, we might be able to, with that trade efficiency, in case you don't know, is a flat modifier of trade income. So basically, you just get how much money you earn in a node. At least this is how it is vanilla. Let's just try and make sure it is. Oh, that beautiful Byzantine purple. Yeah, so we should be earning... Sorry, my taskbar's getting in the way. There we go. So the merchants collect 2.4. Out of this, they manage to create an income of 2.69. So that's because the trade efficiency just gives a flat increase in the amount of money you earn, which is great. There's also the full control over boss of state, which didn't seem to... Oh, and the merchant present effectively gives you 10%. Oh, I didn't know that. I think that's different in this mod, actually. So it looks like having a merchant in your capital effectively just gives you a 10% trade efficiency bonus. Okay, so we would earn 20% more than normal. I think this is well worth it, actually. Because we're losing, let's say, without the trade efficiency, we're losing 20 ducats. How the heck does that work? Why are we earning so much more? Oh, we're probably not. It's about to go down. Yes, there we go. So we did lose 40 trade power. Interesting. Because we have modifiers affecting our trade power multiplicatively. So, yeah. Okay, that makes some sense. And, yeah, so they get trade privileges. And we can play Venice and Genoa off against each other with these privileges, by the way. We can switch between the two. We can also, of course, if we go to war with them right now, then we can just end the privilege. So we don't want to go to war with them right now, though, because they have a powerful navy and they'd be a problem. They also usually ally Naples. They haven't yet, though. Okay, Thessaly, you're on the chopping block. I want to kill Thessaly. Like I said, I don't necessarily want this land. What I'm tempted to do is a communication efficiency recalculated. No, it hasn't. It's martial law here still. It's about once every 5 years that it recalculates the communication efficiency. No, not once. I think it might be once every 10 years. Meaning the odds are it's 5 years away from any particular date. I think that's how it works. Not entirely sure what just happened. Something changed over here. Is that just him rising up? Not sure. Okay. Well, I'm debating. Do we go after these guys? Do we go after these guys? Obviously, the temptation is allow your manpower to recover, but if we take more land that's core, we gain manpower from that core land. So, the eternal question. Manpower reserves need to grow. Nice. That's the kind of mission we want, because that gives us the national recovery modifier. Happy provinces, even better. Okay. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Shall Orthodox or Sunni be our foe? Money or... Yeah, we'll lose the money. We've got quite a bit of it right now. How is the court doing now? Still going down. I do want it to remain above 30. Let's get even more funding into the court. Give him 10 a month. Stipend. 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 Thank you, Venice, by the way, for funding the restoration of my the glorious Byzantine court. I consider it much deserved reparations for the damage done by the... Oh, I forgot. I had which crusade the Latin Empire was. I think it's the 14th crusade. That seems too many, doesn't it? I can't remember. I can't remember. Yeah, I'll check. The Latin Empire. It was the 12th century. No, sorry. 13th century. So the pious missionary. Cool. Whatever. England is currently 63 with no heir. Looks like the line of Plantagenet line. Sorry, I pronounce it like it's French. Maybe it is a French line originally, but Plantagenet would be the English way of pronouncing it. Okay, It was established... Yeah, 1204. Which crusade, though? Fourth crusade. Right. Well, yeah, I thought 14th seemed way too late. Fourth crusade. Anyhow, thank you very much for watching. In the next episode, I will decide on which to attack. Whether it will be the Sunni or the Orthodox. We shall see. Obviously, there's good reasons to attack the Orthodox first, because they've got our culture, our religion provinces. But if we look, this capital is also our culture, our religion. So, difficult. Well, until the next episode, and when we shall decide, I shall see you then. Bye-bye.